Welcome back to magazine news and gossip. But let me ask you something before we dive into the storm. What truth can shatter a relationship that looked unbreakable? What confession can restart a fire everyone thought had died? And what secret about Jan Yaman was powerful enough to turn the entire celebrity world upside down overnight? If you think you've heard everything, trust me, you haven't heard this. For months, silence ruled the world of Jan Yaman. A silence so heavy, so calculated, that fans began to wonder. Had he walked away from the spotlight forever? Had he abandoned the endless swirl of love rumors surrounding Sara Bluma and the whispers about Demet? But then something happened. Something explosive. Something no one expected. Tonight, magazine news and gossip brings you the full, unfiltered, fast-paced breakdown of the emotional earthquake that began with just one sentence. One sentence that escaped Jan's lips during what was supposed to be a private, intimate gathering with his closest circle. A sentence that traveled through the industry like lightning, leaving shock, heartbreak, and speculation behind. He said, "I made the right decision by ending things with Sara." No hesitation. No excuses. No filters. Just truth. Raw, sharp, and devastating. But what was behind that truth? What had pushed one of the most admired actors in the region to speak so openly after months of absolute silence? And most importantly, what did this confession reveal about the emotional battlefield that had been hidden behind closed doors? According to the closest sources, people who have worked with him, lived near him, or even shared long nights of conversation, Jan Yaman had been living under an immense emotional weight. He had withdrawn from public life, canceled appearances, and buried himself in work. To outsiders, it looked like discipline. But to insiders, it looked like escape. One witness, an employee from a well-known magazine, described the moment everything changed. During a friendly gathering, Jan suddenly went quiet. He stared at the glass in front of him, like the world around him had frozen, and finally murmured, "I made the right decision by separating from Sara. There were things in my life that took everything from me." The table went silent. No one dared to ask what exactly those things were. But everyone knew this was the first time Jan had ever spoken openly about Sara Bluma after the breakup. And as soon as this leaked, the entire internet erupted. Sara Bluma, known for her cool elegance and calm posture, posted a striking message on her social media, a message that carried a sharp, icy undertone. Some take a long time to make decisions. Others make the wrong ones. But eventually, everyone gets what they deserve. Her followers instantly connected the dots. This wasn't a generic statement. This was a direct hit. But things escalated further when she vanished for hours. No stories, no posts, nothing. Until midnight, when she returned with a single, painful sentence. "Betrayal is sometimes not an act, but silence." That sentence alone sent tabloids into a frenzy. Was she accusing Jan of emotional betrayal? Was she hinting at hidden wounds no one knew about? Or was this her final attempt to reclaim the narrative after Jan's shocking confession? But there was another name, one that the media refuses to let go of: Demet. Even though Demet has repeatedly said she wants nothing to do with the triangle, this new confession reopened old wounds. Rumor has it that after hearing Jan's comment, Demet confided in her inner circle, "I don't want my name dragged into these things." But some truths eventually come out. Journalists interpreted this in many ways. Was Demet referring to her short but intense past with Jan? Or was she hinting at secrets the public never learned? According to insiders, Jan and Sara's breakup wasn't sudden. It was a slow-burning fire. A fire fed by months of misunderstandings, arguments, and emotional distance. There was even a rumor about a social media post, a single picture Sara shared, that triggered a massive argument. One source revealed Jan's words in private. "I can't stay with someone who treats my life, my work, and my privacy so carelessly." But Sara told a very different story. "Jan can be too controlling. I shared a simple post, and it became a problem. I felt trapped." Who was telling the truth? Maybe both. Maybe neither. But what is clear is that the emotional pressure was crushing them both. A well-known director, who preferred to remain anonymous, described Jan during their last work meeting. He looked exhausted. Not physically, but emotionally. Something was weighing on him. He spoke less. He smiled less. It was as if he carried a storm inside. Another actor said, "Some relationships look perfect from the outside, but inside, they're chaos." Jan is introverted. He doesn't share much. So if he admitted something like this, it means he was truly exhausted. And exhausted he was. His confession was not a moment of weakness. It was a release. A breaking point after months of emotional suffocation. But the internet wasn't done. Fans chose sides. Some praised Jan. He finally said the truth. He must have suffered so much. You can feel the emotional burden in every word. Others defended Sara. Sara had unbelievable patience. He shouldn't speak about this months later. There's more to this story. And then, of course, the Demet theories exploded again. Even though she tried to stay away, her name became impossible to escape. Meanwhile, Sara went silent once more. For a whole week, she shared nothing except landscape photos, mountains, lakes, empty streets. As if she was trying to heal by disappearing into nature. As if words were too heavy for her to carry anymore. So the question stands. What happens now? Is this confession the end of the saga, or the beginning of a new one? Will Demet finally break her silence? Will Sara reveal the other side of the story? And will Yaman ever share what those things that consumed him completely truly were? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain. The truth always resurfaces. And this truth, once whispered at a quiet table among friends, has now become one of the biggest celebrity storms of the year. You've been watching magazine news and gossip, and if you want more explosive updates, more behind-the-scenes truths, and more shocking revelations about Yaman and the world of celebrity drama, make sure to subscribe. Every new subscriber helps us bring you bigger stories, deeper investigations, and the fastest updates on everything happening behind the cameras. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.